All right, welcome to Coach Griffin's living room for this version of the 2019-2020 eBanquet.
So we're sitting here trying to figure out how to make this work. We've got a huge team, and so normally we'd have a big, long banquet. So we're trying to wrap it up in a few videos, which is tough because we had such a big team and we've got to do it in a short amount of time without you guys here. So we started out first like we normally would with a bucket of Hy-Vee chicken, and we're going to go from there.
So obviously these are unusual circumstances, so we're having an unusual banquet. But we're happy to do this, and Coach Griffin and I have spent quite a bit of time trying to piece this thing together and make it something fun and memorable as much as it can be without us actually being there. So hope all of you are being safe, staying sane at home. I know it's not easy right now. I bet you never thought that you'd wish you'd be in school, and I would say that a lot of you probably feel that way right now. So
tonight we're going to give out our season awards. We're not obviously going to give them to you; they will be mailed out to you. But we're going to present those. We'll have this video posted on Twitter, and then are you going to get it on your YouTube page as well? I believe where we do our regular videos.
So it'll be out there for everybody to see, for good or for bad. So. You're going to receive the actual awards in the mail soon. We have that in the works. We're going to meet with Coach Long and get that taken care of. So without further ado, let's roll.
Okay, JV season recap, take 2. All right, so I'm not going to get real specific with our JV wrestlers. We had a couple of tournaments. Some of that was just getting inexperience out of the way. But again, I don't want to get too specific. With that being said, everyone on our team was essential. We are giving varsity letters to everybody. And reason being is because everybody stepped up at some point. We had some injuries. We had some kids that were in and out the whole time, and everybody stepped up at some point to add to our varsity success. So we really appreciate everybody on the season. And although we had some, you have JV matches, you have JV tournaments, everybody was a big part of our varsity team, and that's what we're going to get into next. So we really appreciate all of you. Everybody will be receiving a varsity letter this year because you guys were a huge part of why our varsity season went so well.
All right, next thing we'd like to talk about is the varsity season recap. Overall record is 21-12 this season. That didn't live up to what we achieved last year, but you have to remember, too, we had 2 missing duels due to weather. One was Monmouth-Roseville. The other was Peoria-Manual. So that's, 2 possible wins right there. So, we would tie for the record if that were to come through. And you have to keep in mind as well, that's only one of 4 teams that's ever broke the 20 wins here at Central. So, yes, did technically we do better last year? Yeah, but this was nothing to hang our heads about either. This was another successful season, back-to-back, so that's great.
Some of we talked a little bit about the whole team being a part of this. Some of the highlights we had, we went 6-1 down in Benton. Our only one loss down there was to Tolono Unity. They ended up getting 3rd place in state. We, in my opinion, gave them a pretty good run. Even talking to their coach later on, he said we were one of the better teams that they had wrestled throughout the year, gave them one of the better runs that they had this year. So going 6-1 down there and seeing a team like that was pretty good down there. At Abe's Rumble, we finished exactly where we did last year. We finished 30th. This year there were 60 teams. Last year there was 55. But we finished 30th there. We had a really good first day. Struggled a little bit the second day, but we still ended up doing really well as a team. And again, that was because of everybody that was involved in it, not just your regular 14 guys, but everybody coming together and filling in when we needed people to fill in. We finished 2nd at the Q&D tournament,
and I know this is sounds like me repeating myself, but second to a pretty good team. So even though we went 6-1 and our one loss was to a pretty good team, we took second to the 2A state championship team, Lamont, when we were there. They came in kind of last minute. We wrestled as good as I think we could have, and they just came in with a lot of really big dogs, and there wasn't a whole lot anybody could do about it. But we wrestled really well there as well. We ended up 4 sectional qualifiers this year, and we did have 1 state qualifier too.
Okay, our next bit of business is to talk about the letter winners, a bunch of first-timers, and a lot of returners as well. So without further ado, we have Mr. Clayton Bowler, a 4-time letter winner, Trevor Bonk, 3-time, Marcus Bunch, 1-timer, thank goodness, Dylan Dicku, first letter winner, Zach Foote, a 3-timer, Gavin Graves, a 1-timer, Luke Hedden, his first time, Connor Hughes, a 4-timer, Andrew Cruz, Hunter Lauterbach, Tate McCaskill, Keegan Mercurio, 2-timer, Warren Myers, 2-timer, Sterling Stotts, Ezra Thompson, and Logan Tulloch are our varsity letter winners. And we weren't joking. Everybody got one.
You gonna stop it?
Are you sure you don't want this day, dude? You're soft-footed in this house. Your feet must be cold. All right, I'm not going to get too close. Coach Monroe tells me my hair, with the lack of barbershops open,
Is looking pretty bad. Right now, we're going to talk about our West Central All-Conference Awards. So, our All-Conference Awards this year, you will receive a certificate and a pin. Our first team All-Conference winners are Zach Foote, Connor Hughes, Warren Myers, Clayton Bowler, and Luke Hedden. Our honorable mention awards will go to Ezra Thompson, Hunter Lauterbach, Logan Tulloch, and Trevor Bonk. Congratulations.
Hey, now we have the single season statistic awards. How we're going to do this is we're going to give this long intro right here that you're now watching, and then throughout the rest of the video you will actually see live, no, not live, that would be incorrect. Previously recorded
live action
videos
of said awards in action.
So I guess what that means. So when I give out these awards, you're going to see most escapes, and you're going to see Logan Tulloch getting out like a banshee.
You just gave away our first
I
award.
did. Yeah, 25 of them, by the way. Our next award is most reversals by the young buck of the group, Hunter Lauterbach, with a total of 19. Our most takedowns, very coveted award, Coach.
A lot of them feet to back.
A lot of them feet to back. 68 total takedowns, Mr. Zach Foote. Most near falls on the year.
A lot of them belly to back.
Zach Foote at 57. Most tech falls. Trevor Bonk with 3.
Now, let me stop you there. Because Trevor had a lot more pins that could have been tech falls. And he always looked to me and he said, can I get a tech fall? And when it was time for the team points, he got the pin. So that 3 could have very easily been 50.
Could have been.
or 15. But he did what was necessary for the team.
Did a nice job.
All right, go ahead.
Thanks, Trevor, for doing whatever it takes. Most falls on the year, Zach Foote with 31. I'm not no math major, but he had 35 wins on the season, 31 of those by fall. That would mean that 4 of his wins went to decision. That's pretty darn impressive. I don't know, Zach, you could probably do the percentage there right now in your head. Why don't you do that, and then you shoot me a text later. Most team points, Zach Foote with 181 team points. I had to scooch in there to see what the heck that was saying. That's a lot of team points.
Well, obviously, he had 31 pins.
Oh, my goodness. Rack them up, Zach. And then, top record, Zach Foote, 35-5, an 88% winning percentage. and it's not without note here, he accomplished his 100th win this year, making it 26 wins away,
23, that was a misprint.
23 wins away from the school record.
Yeah, I know, Zach. You're coming for it. You keep telling me all the time. Come and get it, Zach. Come and get it.
And then before we move any further, we had a lot of kids on our team this year. We had more at the beginning of the season than we did at the end of the season, which is pretty typical. And we've touted this season as one where we wanted to get the regional title and do this, and this, and we needed numbers for that to happen. What we've realized with more numbers is more problems.
Sometimes, yeah.
So there was a few issues here and there along the way, and this makes this recognition of a perfect attendance that much more important. We had Zach, Trevor, and Logan, the three of them, had perfect attendance throughout the entire year. So hats off to you guys, and for those of you that want to aspire to be great Central wrestlers, look at those three names there, and it kind of adds up, right? Be at practice and obviously be at the duels and the tournaments. So thanks, guys. right, up next are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major awards or specialty awards that are not based on statistics, more of kind of how the season played out, people's roles during those seasons, and then Coach Griffin's and I's many deliberations on who deserves what. So
Took a lot of chicken tonight to
a
decide.
lot of chicken tonight. So we'll start off with JV Wrestler of the Year. As Coach Griffin talked about earlier, we really didn't have a JV season per se. Yes, people wrestled in JV events. However, everybody was extremely important throughout the year. So this one's kind of difficult to work around. I guess we viewed it as someone that contributed, did well during the JV events, but at the same time kind of turned it on about mid-season, helping us out at the varsity level as well. And that person's Dylan Dickut. Thought Dylan was deserving of this award because he had great attendance, not perfect, but great attendance. He did a wonderful job at the end of the season, finally kind of putting some of the moves together, and probably one of the biggest memories of the season at home with the band there. Everybody was feeling the vibes, and Monmouth Roseville comes out, and Dylan sticks his guy with a tremendous headlock over the corner of the mat. Awesome, great situation, and we were very proud of him for that. So Dylan gets the JV Wrestler of the Year. Moving on to the most improved. This guy I talked to at the beginning of the year and asked him, hey, you going to go out for wrestling? Because I'd heard through the grapevine that he was talking about it. Come to find out, it only took one more question from me to get him to come out. He came out, and I think he enjoyed it. And especially come the middle of the season, I think he was really digging the whole wrestling scene. And it showed in his wrestling. Just naturally aware. He's got some gifts that I don't even think he knows about yet, and we're really excited to see what he's going to do, and that's Gavin Graves.
All right, so we're going to move on to an award where at the beginning of the year we kind of talked about what it means to be a wrestler, what kind of hard work it takes to be a wrestler, kind of the grit, the integrity, just doing everything that's asked of you, putting in the time, putting in the hard work, and being a leader by example, being a leader vocally, and just doing whatever it takes. Our next award is the Iron Man Award. I think this one was pretty unanimous between both of us. I think the rest of the team would agree. When you think about somebody that really works hard in our room, really there every day, really leads, and for no longer than what he's been a part of our team for only a couple of years, truly deserving of this award, and that goes to Logan Tulloch. The Flying Hawaiian was a guy who you just knew when he went out on the mat, it didn't matter. He's down by 8 points in the first period. He's down by 10 points in the first period, or he's up by 8 or 10 in the first period. He's got the same gear. He's going to keep going. We talked about it at regionals. My gas tank's not there. My lungs are gone. Well, Logan, your gas tank was in your heart. You were always the guy that we knew was going to give 100% the whole time, no matter what, with everything you had. And that showed in the practice room, and it showed when you were out there on the mat, and everybody loved watching a wrestler. So this year, our Iron Man Award goes to Logan Tulloch. You got the next one, right?
I do,
All right.
yes. We added one this year with the advent of the co-op. We knew that there'd be more opportunities for more athletes coming into the program, and not only that, but we also, not just for co-op kids, I don't want to put it that way, we wanted to encourage people within our own walls there at Central and Southeastern to say, hey, you're going to be recognized if you come out and you contribute to our team. And so we're naming this one the Greatest Addition Award. And this young man had a tremendous debut season as a sophomore for the Panther Hornacats.
I think that's what it was.
Yes. We're very, very proud of him. I'm really excited about what he's got planned for the rest of his wrestling seasons and ahead of him. So that's Luke Hedden. Luke went out there with a devil-may-care attitude a lot of times, and we love seeing him throw his weight around. He's got that farm boy strength, and we really enjoyed having him this year. He was great in the practice room and challenged a lot of our upper weights. I know that he maybe didn't want to be challenging some of those upper weights, but he did it anyway with a smile on his face or something resembling a smile. So, Luke Hedden.
Our next award goes to our state qualifier this year, and that's the state qualifier award. This year, Clayton Bowler qualified for the state tournament for us. Kind of a wild run. We had injury mid-season. We were kind of worried about what was going to happen with you. We're glad everything worked out. And then come sectional time, first match, and it's a kick in the face first match. Turned it around, and what was really fun about it was watching you get back on a roll, come back, wrestle your way through the wrestlebacks, and get back to the state tournament again. So once we got there, again, it was a fun run. Unfortunate ending, but still, that being said, one of our only state qualifier this year, and now a two-time state qualifier. Proud of the way your season went, proud of the way that you finished your season. So that award goes to you. Our last award is our Most Valuable Wrestler Award. We've looked at this award different ways before. We've looked at who's went the furthest in the season, who's contributed most to the team, who's had the most individual success, who again has been a crucial asset to the team. I think this year it's pretty darn hard to argue with not only the stats but what you're doing for the team. So Zach Foote, among all your other awards, your pins, your team points, your wins, you had the individual success this year. With the individual success, you were there for the team and you got team points when team points needed to be got. When you were of only the 4 matches that didn't go 6 minutes that you won, when you needed a bonus point here and there, you were going to go out and you were going to go get those bonus points for the team when the team needed them. It wasn't just, I'm going to accept my win and be done with it. So with all the stuff that you did for our team and the individual success you had for yourself, I know the season didn't end exactly how you liked it to, but this season to me was still one of your best seasons, putting forth the effort for yourself and for your team. And that's why this year you're getting the Most Valuable Wrestler Award.
Congratulations, guys. Those are big awards and big accomplishments.
All right, we're nearing the end here, and it's one of our bittersweet moments of the banquet, and that is sending a send off to our seniors. Tell them how much we appreciate them because we do. And this year's group is just as special as any other that we've had. So without further ado, I'm going to lead off with Marcus Paul Bunch. Oh, Marcus, so happy that you came out. It was, at times I felt like it was pulling teeth. I didn't know if you were even thinking about going out for wrestling. I talked to you a little bit about it during football, but eventually it all kind of came around and worked out. I'm so happy that it did. You were a great addition this year. You're one of those guys that was like so athletic, so big. You're going to have success, and we just needed to get you out on the mat to prove that. And I would say that you did. Maybe not what we'd hoped for, but you went out, and I think you had a lot of fun. I know I had a lot of fun with you, and I just appreciate you kind of rolling the dice a little bit. Now, that being said, it's like, hey, what could we have done with 3 years? 3 more years with you, Marcus. And you're just a good soul, and we appreciated having on the team. So my favorite memory with Marcus was at Beardstown, and it was the interview.
The video debut that got all of us going.
Yeah, that got everything going. And it was quite the interview. It was a borderline sensation for our little Twitter feed, and so that was cool to see. And I'm happy that it got people to recognize you, and I don't know, maybe brought a little joy to some people. So, and then you follow that up with a riveting first victory, and we couldn't have been more happy for you. And watching your mom squirm in her seat, I thought that was hilarious. You know, she put her hands to her face. It was just awesome. So anyway, Marcus, it was a lot of fun coaching you. The roller coaster ride that it was, as far as the ups and downs of the season, but I wouldn't trade any of it.
All right, our next senior is Connor Hughes. Connor, my son Connor is in junior high, and so of course I get to see your little brother Case wrestling around, that little squirrel, and it kind of reminds me of the way that you were when you were in junior high. But that being said, it was fun to watch you come up through junior high, come up through kids club, come up through high school, and just everything that you were able to accomplish while you did. You put in over a decade worth of wrestling. I want you to remember your time you had with the Panther program. I know we'll remember you. You had a great career. You're always a big asset to our team. And what you did for our team throughout the 4 years you were in high school, the time you were in junior high, and even the asset you were in kids club was huge. Dragging around some of the kids that you did with you to camps, just the input that you had to our practice room and some of the good wrestling groups that you were a part of. It was huge to the success that we had as a team, and it was a lot of fun to watch you grow as an individual as well. So one of my favorite memories from Connor, I probably got two, but one would have been when he was in junior high, and that was when he won the sectional tournament and qualified for the state tournament. But his high school memory for me, at least my favorite one, was when we were at Orion. Would have been his junior year, and Connor was wrestling in the finals. And I think he was down by a few points. He was wrestling a kid from Sherrard. Real strong kid, and the kid had taken him down a couple of times, and I think rode him for a period. And he looked over at me, and I'm uncertain of where I want him to go. And so I think I said, let's go neutral. And he looked at me and he said, I'm going top. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? There's nothing to lose at this point. Yeah, go top. And Connor goes top, and within 30 seconds, he has the kid pinned, and he wins the Orion tournament. And then we end up getting second as a team that year, which is the highest we've ever finished as a team. And he was one of our champions that year. So two things happened. One, Connor, I started to have a little bit more faith in your decision making. And number two, I realized that, you know what? Our team, we are freaking hammers on top. Maybe it's not such a bad decision after all. And that kind of changed the way that I coached in the corner sometimes when we were in a match like that. So, Connor, again, it was great to watch you come up from just a pup to where you are now, and we wish you good luck moving forward.
All right, our next senior to honor is Mr. Logan Tolick. Logan will forever be the standard for wrestlers that focus on being coachable and working their asses off. Anything that he ever achieved was by using these traits every day in the wrestling room. And extremely happy that we got him out of the halls and leading in our wrestling room. One of the more gratifying stories that I can remember in my coaching tenure, which isn't very much, but still, it's pretty awesome to have a guy with no experience, literally coming off as fresh as you could get, and coming into the wrestling room, going 2 years in there, and in one of those years being a regional champion and a sectional qualifier, and just missing it the next year. So hats off to Logan. Great kid, great individual. Works hard, tremendously hard in everything that he does. and just very, very proud of him and what he achieved in the short years that he was here at Central. So just very fortunate that we had him on our team. My favorite moment, sorry, I about snubbed you there, Logan. My favorite moment was him winning regionals with nothing more than a single, a half, and a never-ending gas tank. And those three moves got him through most of his matches. And well, I guess the gas tank's not a move.
Well, it's a benefit.
I mean, it's a huge benefit, and Logan had it. And it was always fun watching him, being down matches and then coming back and winning them based off of that. So a lot of good moments with Logan. It's hard to narrow down one, but that win, getting the regional title last year was pretty awesome. So thanks, Logan.
All right, our last senior is Clayton Bowler. Clayton is a remarkable athlete, probably one of the most explosive wrestlers that I've coached before. His mat awareness, his body awareness was something that you don't find very often. His love for the sport was always constant. I knew when he was a kid, coming up through, that he was a competitor. He hated to lose. I liked watching the kind of development you saw in junior high. Some of those big matches, ones that stands out, like the Grigsby match, I think when he was a 7th grader possibly. And you start to see those signs of that athletic ability turning into wrestling. And the way that he kind of took off from the go, had a good group to wrestle with, and just becoming just as good as those guys and better than those guys as he went along the way. Another one of those wrestlers that's just really fun to watch develop, that had a lot of natural gifts to start with. Clayton, we are both extremely proud of you. You've overcome one of life's most difficult obstacles at an age where you shouldn't have to do that. We know that you're continuing to persevere in life and in this sport, and we're extremely proud of you. My favorite memory, it's hard to talk. We were talking about what's your favorite memory at Clayton, and really, I can't pick out just one. There's a lot of times where he's out on the mat and he just gets you jacked up as a coach. Watching him get on a roll in a match where he's up by 2 or 3 points, watching him get on a roll in a tournament, just right before he goes out on the mat. Hold your hand out, coach. Hold your hand out. And he'd give you one of those. And you just knew, all right, it's time to watch something fun. It was never one of those matches where it's like, oh, here we go. We're not for sure how this is going to go. We may not be for sure, but we know that it's going to be an explosive, fun match to watch, and there's always going to be some good wrestling. So, Clayton, we were happy to have you. It's been a lot of fun throughout your whole career, and we will miss you.
All right, we know this has been an unusual format for a banquet. Hopefully, we've kept it slightly entertaining and lighthearted, but at the same time, I hope everybody knows that you truly are appreciated. All these awards are not easy to win, especially those specialty awards, and making it as a senior, not easy to do. So, we really genuinely appreciate that for you guys to stay glued to this and see who deserves those awards. So, last thing that we want to conclude with is kind of looking ahead. And we talk about the importance of the off season every year. I look back at all my notes and we say it's important to do stuff during the off season, lift weights, blah, blah, blah. And in my time as a wrestling coach, I finally figured this out. And what Coach Griffin's been harping on for years is you have to do stuff during the off season. And when I say stuff, I mean wrestling related things. Okay, go out, go to an open, go to a tournament. Get on the mat with somebody, roll around a few times a week. These things have to be done. And I don't think it's ever been more apparent than this year with the change in classes. And we saw that at our sectional. It was an unbelievable sectional. Okay, our best wrestler didn't make it out. And I'm not trying to rub salt in the wound, Zach, because you wrestled very well. But that's how intense our competition has gotten with this new stratification with our wrestling. So if you want to do good, you want to be good, you want to be great, you want to be something in this sport, you have to do something during the off season.
Well, and not only that, but weight room too. I mean, not just wrestling related, which I'll sit there and I'll tell you all day long. Get on the mat, get on the mat, get on the mat. Okay, but when we go to a tournament like Quincy Notre Dame and you look at guys on Lamont's team that could all probably be playing Division III football right now, bodybuilding, or posing in an underwear magazine, you need to get in the weight room and get, well, like a real tactful one.
I got you.
Okay. But we need to get in the weight room. We need to start doing something. Coach Dixon's got a great program. Get in there and do something. If you right now you can't do anything, that still doesn't mean you can't go downstairs in your basement. Everybody's got some free weights. Try to stay active. I know right now it's very difficult to do anything. It's very demotivating to do anything. And it's very easy, which speaking of, we're going to get on the PlayStation here as soon as we're done. All right. But it's very easy to sit there and do this or not do anything at all because you feel like there's nothing I can do. Well, I will tell you right now, there is something that you can do. There's always something that you can do, and it's never going to be a waste of time. Okay. If you want to get better, get some carpet burdens on your knees and start taking shots in your hallway if you don't have a wrestling mat. Start doing some push-ups. Start doing pull-ups off of your door trim, and hopefully your parents don't get mad when you rip it off. All right. But if you want to get better, people out there are doing stuff right now to get better. So don't let this time demotivate you to where you feel like, well, nobody can do anything right now. I'm kind of stuck in a rough spot right now and there's nothing I can do. Get out there and go do something. Okay. As soon as we're able to do something with you, we'll let you know. Okay. As soon as this stuff gets lifted and we're able to get out there with you, we can open up the mat or we can take you somewhere to a wrestling, either open mat or tournament, or there's something that we can do to help. We will do that as soon as possible because we miss you guys. We're ready to see you guys get back out on the mat, and we're really ready for next year to start already, even though it just ended. Everybody's kind of cooped up at home right now, and of all people, trust me, I miss the sport, and I can't wait to get back out on the mat with you guys. So the fire's starting to die down, and we're about to call it an evening. I think we may play a few rounds of Mortal Kombat just to see who the better man is in life. But we appreciate you guys. We had a blast with you this season, and we can't wait to see you.
See you guys.